Hi there, ladies. Good morning. Aggie here. So today I wanted to talk about something that I actually mentioned in the Facebook book before, and I just wanted to discuss this because I think it's so important when it comes to building clutter, that I want to make sure that this thought doesn't get missed. And it's not just actually important in the means of clutter, it's also very important when it comes to feeling our purpose in life, when it comes to if you feel that you're depressed, if you feel that you have lost some meaning in life, that you may feel like you have lost purpose in life, I really want you to think about this, because I truly feel that that this is kind of the core of what makes us purposeful. So the message is that our creative forces are constantly trying to get us to break through and direct them in the direction that our soul is, or hearts, or God, or whatever works for you as far as verbiage goes in relation to that, wherever those deeper sources are calling it to go. So creative force is something that is what moves everything. It's what moves the world. It's what moves us every day. When these creative forces are not directed in the right thing, life starts being sabotaged. Life starts falling apart. And the reason why I think this is so important is because I truly believe this is the root of happiness. And creative force can literally be applied to every area of life, every single area of life. So there's not a single area of life where the creative force isn't reaching to. So for example, I'm just going to give a couple of examples. Creative force comes through when you decide the meal that you're going to make for the day. Creative force comes through when you dress yourself. Creative force comes through when you do your makeup. Creative force comes through when you write a book. Creative force comes through when you build a business. Creative force comes through when you have a conversation. Creative force comes through when you pretty much do any activity in your life. You can apply creative force, right? So this is not just one area of life. However, your soul, your heart, is generally guiding you in every single moment where to invest this creative force. And if you are not in touch with that soul, that heart center, this creative force is going to be on some level suppressed, and you're going to feel negative emotion associated with your it's almost like, think of it like a pressure cooker, okay? When creative force is not expressed, kind of like, I can take my experience with my toddler, for example, who's extremely active. If I don't find a physical activity for my toddler during the day, it's going to build up somehow to the point where he may get a little bit more difficult to control by the end of the day, right? Same thing with you too, when, if your body needs exercise and you keep not exercising, there's going to be an aspect of the body that just doesn't feel good, right? So it's the same thing with creative force. Creative force, it kind of pressure builds up. And if you ever feel like, your depression, your anxiety, all these things are getting worse, it's very often that you're not making the decisions. And when I talk about making decisions, I'm talking about creative force. Creative force. Every decision is coming through creative force. So I want to just say one more example. Let's say that your creative force is telling you to act on in some kind of subject matter, like you're procrastinating on something that's is important. It could be taxes, it could be something else. And your heart and soul is telling you, it's time to do this. It's time to put your creative force. And creative force is not just like, oh, I'm going to come up with a painting. Creative force is literally creating life, literally creating your day-to-day thing, your purpose. and this is where it's really important, your purpose is the expression of this creative force moment to moment as your heart and soul is calling you to express it. So when the creative force is suppressed and you're not listening to your heart and soul, your intuition, and intuition, I believe, is how your soul communicates with you. So I haven't found a better word for this. Intuition, I believe, is how your soul is saying in a very subtle voice, do this, do this. This is the next step, do this. And it could be as simple as creating a healthy meal. Right now, my creative forces are calling me to eat, certain types of foods. And thankfully, I found a perfect cookbook. And I'm going to be making foods like that if I have the chance. But that's my goal. And I know that's what my soul is calling me to do, right? So I know this is something that I'm called to do. And because I've been practicing this I've been trying so hard for so long to understand this and to figure out how to live this way. And my life is not perfect. But now everything I do is more and more alignment. So my life is getting better in the areas that I have control over. There are certain things I do not have control over, unfortunately, that will probably improve over time as the universal forces hopefully make it so. But I can feel that my decisions are becoming more and more conscious and in alignment with my soul. So I feel more peace inside. Even if life is not perfect, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel that feeling of things being completely off track, right? Things feel more on track for me. So going back to when these creative forces are suppressed, unfortunately what starts happening is that compulsions can arise. Very often, negative feelings arise, anger arises, frustration, being upset arises. And what ends up happening is, addiction, compulsion, things like that can take over because the body is trying to compensate, the brain is trying to compensate for not having the ability to express. And it reaches for other things to kind of try to put that energy into something. So it could be addictions, it could be compulsive shopping, where creativity is, it seems harmless to an extent, but your house gets cluttered and your money gets spent, right? So building up clutter is very often a compulsive need to get creative, because in some ways certain things are simply not processed the right way. And this could be, it could also be some pain from the past, but many times, many times, this is actually the suppression of where your heart and soul is calling you to go intuitively and invest in your creative force. And what I have noticed over time in my life is that when I went shopping and I was building clutter and I was spending money that I sometimes didn't have, it was feeling good in the moment because I felt like I was creative. I was able to just look at things and feel like, this feels, like I can put this in my life and it's gonna feel this way and it's gonna match that. And yes, my creative forces were in action, and that gave me happiness in that second. But then it very quickly fades because it's not truly invested where your heart and soul is calling you to put it. So what I encourage you to do is to really look at your heart and soul and close your eyes and ask yourself, where is my soul asking me to go right now with my creative force? Where is my soul asking me to invest my creative force right now? What would be the most aligned way, the most exciting, truly deeply heart-filled way to express my creativity in this life right now? Because it could change over time, but right now, where could it be expressed? And it could be, maybe you get the message, build this business, go on a quest to do something, go on an adventure, start a new diet, start exercise, whatever it is. It could be many different areas of life. But your soul is going to ask you to go a certain direction. And as you do that, compulsions can begin to fall away because there's no longer this pressure cooker of your body feeling like, oh, I'm off track, I'm off track, I'm off track, I'm off track. If you get back on track, and only in my personal opinion, the only thing that can get you back on track in your life as far as your meaning, your purpose goes, is that soul connection, is that intuition. So I encourage you to ask the question, where my soul is asking me to go, or where my heart and soul is asking me to go, intuitively, creatively, and begin making plans and steps in that direction, and see how you feel. I would love for you to share, if you listen to this video, I would love for you to share, if you look within yourself, what your soul is telling you the direction should be. And I would also love to know, if you do make steps, and even just seeing that vision, how that feels and how that changes your inner world. How does it feel once you have that vision? What feels different? Okay. So hopefully, instead of us going out shopping, which I've noticed a huge difference in it, instead of us going out shopping, trying to, just get creative because it's a momentary good, hopefully we can get super creative in all the areas of life that we are truly called to get creative in right now. Okay, ladies? So yes, please let me know your experience. I will see you in the next video. Take care.